Well, greetings to all. My name is Shane Buksh, and I am the Senior Manager of National and Strategic Accounts with Seabourn. I'm very excited to have this moment with you today as a valued client of Expedia Cruises and on behalf of all the Southern Alberta locations. Now, many of you may know the Seabourn brand well, and others may just be finding about our brand for the very first time. But either way, I'm excited that you are here so I can use this opportunity to talk to you about our newest product, Seabourn Expeditions. So with that being said, let me take you on this journey to talk about some untouched areas of the world. Now, many of you may ask the question, what is expedition? Well, the best style of travel I can compare it to is one of an African safari. People go on an African safari to see exotic lands and to be one with nature and have that thrill of the elements around them come to life. A safari really does awaken your senses and makes you feel immersed in a natural habitat of animals that you only really see on TV. You get to explore these new lands with a sense of vulnerability, but at the same time, you feel at ease that you know you have these guides ensuring your safety. Well, that's exactly what expedition is like, just with the element of the ocean and ocean creatures. So there are many companies that do expedition journeys, but Seabourn's difference, however, is the luxury element. When you think of a dream African safari, you think of venturing to see all these creatures and going 4x4ing and then coming back to this dream safari luxurious bungalow with all the creature comforts that you've become used to maybe at home. That is what a luxury expedition cruise with Seabourn is all about. We're already known for being the pinnacle when it comes to service and luxury in our 5 classic vessels. Now with our new expedition ships, we are going to be delivering our Seabourn classic luxury and service onboard an expedition product. So combining luxury with adventure. Now you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, this is what you experience or you think of when you think of a luxurious African safari. This beautifully appointed, bedding and furniture and being able to look out the view and seeing this gorgeous view of the landscape you're in. That is exactly what an expedition cruise with Seabourn will be like. And as you can see, the two pictures mimic each other very, very well. Now, let me talk a little bit about the ships. Our first ship will be the Seabourn Venture. She will be coming out in April of 2022, followed by her sister ship, which we just named last week, the Seabourn Pursuit, which will be coming out in April of 2023. These ships were both purpose-built for Seabourn, with luxury and expedition in mind. So both ships will only hold 264 guests. So this will allow us to create a very small, intimate feeling when going to these remote parts of the world. And each ship will also have 24 Zodiacs. So Zodiacs are those inflatable boats that would take our guests off the ship, and they will make landings on the ice plains in Antarctica and through the Amazon rainforest, and each of which will be escorted by one of our expedition team members on board, which will guide you throughout your entire journey. Now, I'm going to talk about the expedition team a little bit later on in the presentation. We'll also have offerings for our guests to be able to scuba dive and kayak, and we even will have 2 custom-built submarines on board, which I'll go into more depth in a few minutes. And because these ships are going to regions of the world that have some environmental fragility, we wanted to make certain that all the environmental laws and regulations have been met and exceeded, while still being able to deliver the signature luxury elements on board our guests that our Seabourn guests have come to know on our classic ships. So you're going to be able to find that classic style vessel on board this expedition ship. Now, I'm going to go through now is talk about the suites. On board these ships, we will have 264 guests. Now, I said this is going to be a very intimate experience. This allows us to only have 132 suites on board. So this will really feel like a boutique hotel at sea. Much like our 5 classic Seabourn ships, which hold 450 to 600 guests, we believe that having a smaller guest count with almost a 1-to-1 crew to passenger ratio really does make Seabourn unique and allows us to deliver this amazing guest experience. All the suites on board the ship will be oceanfront verandas or higher. So as you can imagine, waking up in the morning and making your way out to your balcony with a cup of coffee in your hand as you're witnessing the beautiful views in front of you up close and personal. As you can see, the suites have luxurious living quarters, as well as walk-in closets, floor-to-ceiling marble bathrooms, and then luxurious amenities such as molten brown toiletries, choice of pillow selection, and of course, every suite will be accompanied by our suite hosts who are there to really ensure that your comfort and everything you might need along your journey has been fulfilled. Our signature Winter Garden Suite, which will actually be our first two-story suite, will allow our guests to have a lavishly appointed living space on the lower level with a lavishly appointed bedroom space with for extra privacy on the upper level. So as you can see here, this beautiful bedroom and that TV screen that you see there, that actually does retract into that cabinet. So you're not going to be your view of this amazing landscape is not going to be blocked by a giant LED screen. We've made it so it does retract down. So if you do, but I mean, honestly, when you're traveling in a place like this, you're going to be looking at the views with a panoramic window like that and not at your TV. Now, talking about dining, of course, when it comes to dining, Seabourn is known for five-star dining at its best. And although this ship is small, we will have 8 different dining options available for our guests. Our traditional restaurant is called the restaurant, which will serve favorites along with the dining room service and attention to detail that Seabourn is known for. And we don't actually have set dining, so you can actually eat where you want and when you want, and whoever you want to eat with as well. We also will have our casual dining restaurant called the Colonnade, which is our buffet style restaurant. And I really use the word buffet loosely because the food offered here is nothing like a traditional buffet. It will be very similar to what you find in the dining room, but in a more casual experience. We'll have a sushi bar as well, so if you guests want to enjoy sushi, we'll have that as well. And we will also have our Thomas Keller grill on board. Now, we won't have the Thomas Keller grill venue as our classic ships, but we will have the Thomas Keller menu. And if you did not know who Thomas Keller is, he is a Michelin star awarded chef throughout the United States and Europe. And we will have his steaks and his full Thomas Keller menu available on board on any of the dining venues we have. So you can have steak and lobster while outside or in your suite as room service. You'll have that option there. And of course, being a luxury resort at sea, there were no surcharges to eat in any of these dining venues. And of course, our vast selection of fine wines, premium spirits, champagnes, and cocktails are all included. And if you like caviar, caviar is served day and night on anywhere in the ship. So it is really that true luxury experience when it comes to dining. Now, although the ship is small, we want to ensure that there were plenty of well-appointed public spaces, which are inviting and suited to the regions of the world that we're going to. So as you can see in the picture here, we've used natural elements to create like a ski lodge feel, making it feel warm and cozy, yet elegant and sophisticated. Classic venues such as our Constellation Lounge, which allow our guests to sit back and relax and have a drink, will have that classic panoramic view of their surroundings. So here you can see, as you're sailing, this beautiful 300 or 270-degree view of glass. Our Seabourn Square, which is our classic, known as our guest services desk, is actually a circle on the ship, and is located in a lounge to allow our guests on board to wait for their team. If they have any questions in regards to their voyage, they can wait rather than standing in a line. So we will come and actually get to them while they're enjoying a coffee or sitting back enjoying the views. Our outdoor spaces, of course, allow our guests to relax and dine and converse with others while bringing that inside decor to the outdoors. So it's a very fluid experience from the inside to the outdoors. And of course, our bow lounge, which will be at the very front of the ship. And this will allow our guests to feel like they are at the helm of the ship. We will have navigation equipment, which will allow our guests to see what our captain and crew are doing as they're guiding the ship. We also do have an open bridge policy. So as long as it's safe to do so, our guests can go and request to see the bridge and learn all about what it takes to guide these amazing vessels. So as you're sailing through different parts of the world, you can go and speak to the captain with a coffee in hand and watch as he's sailing the ship, which is truly amazing and something we get to do that's unique to having a small size ship. Now, you can't use the word luxury without using the word pampered. So on board the ship, we've made certain that after a few days of trekking the ice field and wandering through the rainforest, our guests can treat themselves to feel as if they have got some well-deserved R&R. We've created a luxurious spa on board and have continued our partnership with wellness expert Andrew Weil to ensure that our guests feel pampered and rejuvenated and feel at peace after a long day of being in the elements. We wanted to ensure that we have bringing the outdoors in, so we have floor-to-ceiling glass treatment rooms and saunas so you can enjoy the heat while viewing cool surroundings. And of course, if you want to venture outdoors, we have our vast back open deck area, which will have comfortable loungers, whirlpools, and an infinity pool taking you right to the edge of the ship. Now, when you take an expedition cruise, you want to do some discovery. The ship has over 30,000 square feet of open deck space, allowing you to view the wildlife and incredible landscapes of the regions we offer as we're sailing. Our Discovery Center is a venue which will allow our guests to see what is in the next port of call and gather to talk about the recent experiences off the ship. Our expedition team will be there to offer in-depth narrations of the places we sailed and the unfolding experiences the guests have along the way. We will have a landing zone where our guests are able to gear up with the gear that we provide them, so they don't have to pack it, and head out to take part in complimentary zodiacs journeys, or if they want, they can do optional kayak and explore the coastlines that way too. And of course, we cannot forget our 2 custom-built submarines. This will allow our guests to view a whole new world. Now, Seabourn has always been known providing amazing experiences for our guests to destinations above the shoreline, but now we're able to take our guests beneath the shoreline for a once-in-a-lifetime voyage. These submarines will accommodate up to 6 passengers, including plus a driver, of course, and each can explore depths of up to 1,000 feet down. The acrylic spheres that are actually on both sides of the submarine, actually, when they submerge into the water, they have the same index level so that when the spheres go down, the acrylic actually gives the same image as if it's see-through. So you can put your hand out and you don't know where the acrylic ends and the water begins. So it's a truly amazing experience and once in a lifetime that we are allowing our guests to actually see the world beneath us. These, of course, will be at a cost. However, when you're doing a once in a lifetime journey, such as an expedition cruise, if you are able to go down beneath the ocean, this is something you're definitely going to want to see. Now, I'm going to talk about our team on board. The expedition traveler really want to engage in the destination, and traveling with our expedition team comprised of academics, scientists, regional experts, general naturalists. This team will join you throughout the entire journey from start to finish, and they'll be narrating and guiding you along all aspects of the trip. They're there to share their knowledge and their training, and most importantly, their passion from the ecosystem to the physiological science and culture and history. The team of 26 that are on board will guide you both on and off the ship, and you'll be able to make remote landings, to visit the penguin colonies and hiking to places that few have walked before. They are there to really enhance your experience by interacting with them as much as you want to or as little as you want to. And they're also accompanied or complemented by our professional and courteous hotel team. Now, from the moment you arrive on the ship, the staff on board will call you by your surname and make you feel more like a guest than a passenger. Remember, at a 1-to-1 staff to crew ratio, they really do get to know who you are, your likes and your dislikes, and what will it take to make your voyage so much more memorable and create that Seabourn moment and create this journey for a trip that you're never going to forget. Now, I've talked a lot about the ship and what she looks like. Now let's talk about where she's going. So our Seabourn expedition experience will start again in 2022 with the Seabourn Venture. On April 10th of 2022, the Seabourn Venture will make her inaugural voyage from Greenwich, England, and she'll be first sailing throughout the British Isles. From there, she'll make her way up the Norwegian coastline, visiting all the small towns of Norway and communities, all the way up to the Northern Cape. From there, she will also make her way over to Svalbard, where you'll be able to see the polar bears and a true Arctic experience. So our guests will be able to actually do 3 back-to-back journeys here, visiting the British Isles, the Northern Cape in Norway, as well as Svalbard, and have a 32-day all-encompassing journey of Northern Europe. And being a small ship of only 132 suites and 264 guests, we can get into all these small villages along the Norwegian coastline. Now, from Norway, we'll head next to the Greenland and the Arctic. Now, this is where you're going to find ice-flanked waterways and a rare look of wildlife in such pristine beauty. Because these ships are PC6 Polar Class standard ships, it allows us to effortlessly go through the oceans where there may be ice and extreme weather conditions. So this is a very good safety element, allowing us to break through ice where need be. You'll be able to see rugged mountain ranges and ice-blue glaciers and lush greenery in some of these really sought after expedition voyages. The sailings will take you to Iceland, Greenland, and the Canadian Arctic, and you'll be able to go on the Zodiacs and see teeming bird cliffs and kayak amongst the glaciers under the midnight sun and visit the Viking ruins and ancient Inuit sites. You'll be able to visit whales, walruses, and seals up close, as well as see reindeer and muskox and grazing in the tundras in the distance. And because of our immersive team, they'll be able to actually tell you about what you're seeing and what they're eating and what they're doing and really educate you on the animals and the flora and the fauna. And we'll also visit remote places such as Baffin Bay and Nunavut. So this will really give you a true Canadian Arctic experience. Next up, we were going to take the ship to a slightly warmer area, which is the Amazon. Now, because of the size of the ship, we're actually able to take our guests all the way from Manaus, all the way deep into the Amazon, to Iquitos in Peru, where most ships only go up to Manaus. Here, you'll be able to kayak over seasonal flooded forests, and you'll be able to find sloths and howler monkeys and see all the beautiful colored birds. You can cruise in the kayak down the river and then see buffalo farms and watch for pink flamingos. These are just some of the few things you're seeing. One of the most wild and wonderful places in the earth. The Amazon is wide and deep and winding, with sediments from the Andes carrying over and carrying into the river, and floating vegetation and vital nutrients that support the ecological systems there. Our team on board will really be able to guide you and explain to you what you're seeing in regards to the animal life. And here, especially with the Amazon rainforest, and the environment, the expedition team can guide you and tell you all about the different experiences you have here. And finally, our last step takes you over to Antarctica, the most southern continent and the most unexplored area that many seasoned travelers have still not checked off their list. Our expedition to Antarctica allows our guests to experience regions such as Argentina, the Falkland Islands, South Georgia. We're going to see over 250 penguins, and monumental icebergs. This area of the world is constantly known as one of the best travel experiences that one has ever sailed on. And because there is so much limited opportunities to go down there, and it's such a limited season, Antarctica sailings book very quickly. And we've had now 2 years of a pandemic where we haven't been able to actually go anywhere with Antarctica. So we know that in 2023, our Antarctic sailings are really going to be quite full. And you can see here the pictures of the penguins surrounded by all the walruses. I mean, this is just one of those journeys where you can actually walk up and see them face to face and really be exposed into their world. And it's truly quite amazing. Now, if expedition is something that it's not quite in your travel plans over the next little while, we still have you covered. We do have our 5 classic Seabourn ultra luxury resorts at sea, which will be traveling to Northern Europe, the Med, Alaska, Canada, New England, and more. And if you have your phone on hand, you can scan the QR codes on your screen here, and you'll be able to see our digital brochures for each one of these journeys. Now, of course, if you don't have your phone on hand, your Expedia Cruises advisors will have a copy of these codes, so you can reach out to them and they'll be able to give you, send you an email, so then you can do it at your own leisure. Now, we have worked with Expedia Cruises during the World Explorer sale to put together an amazing offer of up to $1,000 in shipboard credit for 2022 sailings, and up to $2,000 if you're staying in one of those premium suites. You'll also be able to get 10% off your cruise fare if you do pay in full by October 31st, and additional up to $600 in onboard credit, with $300 on any bookings made in the month of October, and up to additional $300 on the Expedia exclusive stateroom. So, Expedia does have staterooms or suites with us where they have already perk in the way of onboard credit. So we are doubling that up to $600. So really, you can get up to $2,600 US in onboard spending to be able to do many of the voyages that you've seen today. So with this brings me to the end of my presentation. I really do hope you enjoyed this, and I was able to paint a picture of what luxury expedition has to offer. I think now more than ever, bucket list trips are really moving to the forefront of people's travel plans, and we have not been able to travel for so long that now is the time for these unique experiences to come to fruition, and we've really definitely earned it. But if I wasn't able to paint the picture for you tonight, I want to leave you with this video, and I want to thank you, and we hope to see you that your journey with Seabourn will continue soon.